Ashby Beasley is one of the survivors in Highland Park. She's been driving efforts towards federal legislation. She joins us now live this evening. Ashby, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're heading to D.C. next week, aren't you?
I am. I'm actually going to D.C. to meet with lawmakers again about making more movement on the assault weapon ban and hopefully getting it scheduled for a vote, and also to attend the Newtown Action Alliance vigil that is being held and is an incredible opportunity for the survivors of gun violence and victims' families to come together and get support from one another and create a network of healing.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years since Sandy Hook, and over 1 million Americans have been killed or injured by guns since that happened. Why do you think that this may make a difference?
You know, this week has been really inspiring, the movement that we've seen out of Colorado after the shooting that took place there. Senator Michael Bennet this week co-sponsored the assault weapon ban bill that is currently waiting in the Senate. He did not honor the victims in his community with thoughts and prayers. He instead took action, and that is heroic. And also in our state here, we have State Representative Bob Morgan, who also is leading with action. He's not, saying thoughts and prayers. He's saying enough is enough. It is time to ban these weapons of war to protect our children and our families in the places that they should feel safe. And this is what leaders and lawmakers should be doing. They should be stepping up, and they should be doing action and not just giving thoughts and prayers.
You and your 6-year-old son both survived the Highland Park mass shooting. How has it affected your life, and have you seen it affect Beau's life?
For me, it's been, it's really pushed me to demand change and to learn about our governmental system and how just people like me, just a mom, can get involved and make a lot of noise and can move people to actually take action and inspire others. And for my son, even he has felt the need to ask for change and the inspiration to do that. He joined me in DC on not my last trip, but my trip before that. And it was his idea. He wanted to talk to his own lawmakers. He wanted to ask them for an assault weapon ban. He wanted to tell them his story, and he got to do that, and they listened to him. And so I think, there's a lot of healing that's going on, and he's still very angry and gets frustrated and doesn't understand, why these things happen. But I think he's finding some solutions, and that is part of the process.
To what do you attribute the lack of change to right now?
I think that this is something that is controversial because there are so many opinions. There's so many opinions on what the right thing to do is, and there are so many very strong opinions on the Republican side and strong opinions on the Democrat side. And we just need to come together as a community, as a country. Our lawmakers need to bridge that divide, come together. This affects every kind of community. It doesn't matter if your community is affluent, if they're not affluent, if they are minority communities, if they're white communities. This affects every single community in America. You can go into a grocery store and get gunned down. You can send your children to school and they cannot come home. This is not a partisan issue, and I think that's where it's caught up right now, and it needs to not become a partisan issue because the majority of Americans support gun safety legislation, as the midterms just showed us.
Ashby, how many people will be at that vigil, do you think, next week?
I understand there'll be about 250 people at the vigil itself, but there's also a CAP conference. It's a gun violence prevention conference, and it will have around 1,000 or more people joining that as well. So it's going to be a pretty big event. A lot of people descending on DC who want changes in gun legislation and are really fighting for it and aren't going to take no for an answer.
Sounds like you'll be a force to be reckoned with. Ashby Beasley, thank you so much. Good luck to you.
Thank you.